Welcome to Community Corner. My name is DeWitt Taylor, and my two pals are.
Hello, my name is Aaron Connie Castle.
Hello, I'm Ryan Nicholas Gray.
I can't believe that I'm actually doing this today. We have waited so long for this interview. Finally, she agreed. We three amigos owe her more gratitude than words can convey. She is the backbone of our show, Community Corner. Without her, there would be no show. I am proud to be able to say I am her son and her biggest fan. I would like to introduce my mother, Barbara J. Taylor, to our show. Guys, you want applause to my mom.
Yeah.
Yes.
I need to applaud you guys. You've got me in the hot seat.
Yes, you do. Right here on
You
this
do.
show. Right here with
You
us.
do. You've been asking, and here I am.
That's right. You showed up right on time.
Yes.
I got two
Let's
questions
begin.
in
Let's
one
do it.
for you. What was the background in your family before I was born?
Yeah, I grew up with two brothers, and so there were three of us. I was a sister in the middle, and active in school and family, and then.
You have always fought for us to have activities and social life. Please tell us some of your struggles and successes. For example, the New Year's Eve party, Wawa.
I sure would like to share, because there have been struggles, but there have been lots of successes.
Tell us.
When we moved to Rochester for the school district, there already was a group of parents doing teens' night out. And that introduced me to the broader sense of there are lots of families with children looking for social activities and friends, and so quickly became involved. Sometimes the disappointments or challenges have been when the general public are not willing to change their thinking or to be accepting or to take a suggestion and open to plans or ideas that may come along. So I've had both. I've had wonderful plans and successes, but some disappointments along the way. But that didn't stop, because we all can dream. We all can pray for freshness.
When did you begin to notice that the three of us will become big influences on each other?
That is a great story. That is a great story. When we
Okay.
moved, David came home from his first week of school, and he said, I met a friend, and it ended up being Aaron. And friendships are so vital to everyone's life. And to find a friend and to immediately connect. David talked about you, Aaron, all the time.
Sweet.
And David met Ryan.
Oh, really? Thank you.
And the three guys just seemed to, as the inner said, the three amigos, and sometimes you were called the three musketeers.
Oh, really?
Because you balance each other, you encourage each other, you're kind to each other, you have some of the same humor,
Of course we do.
and you're all big WWE wrestling fans.
Of course we are. Hello.
Oh, yeah.
So together, you're just a great team.
Thank you.
Just a great team.
I was
Thanks.
called the Three Stooges.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, God.
There
Here we
could
go
be
again.
there could be times when there's cuckoo-ness.
Cuckoo-ness.
Yeah, craziness.
I always started it.
Oh, it's not my fault. You started it.
And they
David.
always go back and forth with you, Yahoo.
You bonehead.
So they're fun together. They tease each other.
Ryan,
They
I
just
question?
just happy.
I'm so excited to be interviewing you. Thank you for agreeing to do it. Could you please briefly describe how each of us, and if you remember, how we met?
I believe your meeting was maybe at that teens night out where the parents would plan activities, movies, bowling, eating out. But I think in school, you're going to have to help me. Isn't that in school?
Yeah, I think I remember meeting
In
David
your
in
school programs,
Yeah, I
and you
remember-
had
yeah.
classes together?
I think I remember David and I met in high school once, and we met in the hallway. I remember we were in the hallway, David, and I can remember meeting you. I didn't know who you were. I said, wait a minute. I said, who's this guy? I didn't know who you were. Until I can remember, it's been years ago. I remember.
In school class.
Yeah, it was a
in
class.
the classes. And so you would know each other
Yeah.
with the same teacher and be encouraged to
yeah.
work together or help each other with your work,
Yeah,
your
that's right.
reading,
History,
your
math, science.
and things. So I think that answers actually where you met. And a friendship came
It did.
very
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah, it did.
Were there any things that surprised you about us when we started the show?
You're always a surprise. You,
Oh,
you guys
tell
have
us.
humor and laughter,
I
and
know.
when we started the show is the question.
Yeah.
You know, the starting of the show came after we'd been doing some things together.
remember that.
I think once in a while we'd all go to the movies.
Yeah.
The parents began to be friendly and learn each other. And you know what the parents' plan is?
What?
What?
Anytime they're with you,
Uh-oh.
they became your parent.
Your advocate.
Ryan's parents could say to David, "That's enough," or Aaron's parents could say,
Enough.
"David, that's great," or Ryan,
Enough.
"It's your turn." I mean, parenting,
Isn't
Yep.
important.
all three sets of parents helped parent the three of you.
Yes, they did.
And we were all happy together to do that.
I remember those good old days.
Yes.
What are some of the challenges you faced helping us start our TV show?
That's a great question, Aaron. I originally received a phone call from Community Living Service, an agency,
Okay.
and they were trying to get a public access TV station to open a class to students with challenges. And they were asking if I thought David would be interested. And I said, "Oh, that sounds great." Then I said, David has a friend, Aaron, and Aaron is interested in technology. And I said, could he come? And the answer was yes. And so between the parents, we took turns driving you down to the weekly class
In Troy.
where you were training to learn how to work the cameras, how to work the soundboard and the lights. And at the end of that class, I was the driver. And
You were a chauffeur.
yeah, I was your chauffeur.
James.
James, I was Mrs. James.
Mrs. James.
And you guys came out with a piece of paper called a certificate.
I did.
And I asked you, what was that? What were you supposed to do? And you weren't really sure, but you were just happy. You'd passed the class.
I did.
So I went in and asked, and I learned that allowed you for 1 year to come in and practice using a camera, to
Learning.
volunteer, to work the soundboard.
Oh,
And when I was telling the other parents, when I dropped you off, Ryan, your mom said, well, maybe this summer we can go down and practice.
I did. I loved
And
it.
we did.
I loved it.
We went down, and Joe Johnson had been your teacher and was there. And he said, well, let's start a
Pilot.
show. Let's try to do something together.
Pilot. I think you call it pilot. Is it called?
I guess you'd call it a pilot show.
Yeah.
Good,
I remember that.
good
First show
sense,
Oh, that's all right.
Ryan.
we did. Heather Snow was
So
the very
we
first
did,
guest.
and we invited a friend
Heather.
that you would be comfortable knowing, Heather,
Heather Snowy.
and she worked for the recreation
Yes, she did.
department.
As a personal
And
trainer.
when we were, when we were finished, we were leaving, and I said, "Now what's going to happen?"
What do we call this show?
And you know what Joe said?
What?
It's going on television. And we were all,
Like,
what were
what?
we, surprised? We went, what?
What?
We're going to be on TV.
TV?
And I
And that-
believed
David
Joe
Boyle
told
left-
us one time that, David, you were the one who gave the name Community
I
Corner.
remember they blurted it out, just yell, community corner, blurted it out, yell,
Community
community corner.
Yes, because you gentlemen all know people in the community,
We do.
and you had friends and businesses that we could invite and interview.
We did.
Yes, yeah.
So what do you think when we said we wanted to take a class to learn making a TV show? So what did you think about that? What did you think about
Oh,
three?
it was exciting, Ryan.
It really was?
It was, because all you fellows had dreams and goals to either, you want to be an investigative reporter.
I do.
Aaron seems to have the great talent and interest to work with technology, machines and cameras.
Me
And
hosting
David.
shows.
And David would love to be doing shows or TV. So your dreams I knew about and the other parents knew about, and taking the class would start you on the road to understanding and being able to work in that field. Oh yes, it was exciting. Exciting and a grand opportunity. Yes, yes, yes.
It was.
Yes, yes, yes.
yes.
What are some of your favorite shows we have taped in the past?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that is the most difficult question. What we've done,
Really?
112 shows,
112
and you
shows.
want me to pick some favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
Come on.
They've all had a great interest and a purpose. I want to share quick a story. There's another show that was on public access called Two Sisters with a Whisk.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Here we
no.
go
Here we go
I
again.
investigated and found out that one of the ladies lived in Rochester.
Yep.
And I called her and I said, goodness, I represent 3 boys who do a show, and we'd love to have you come and be our guest. And she wanted to know a little bit more about you, and I explained, and she said, you know, I'm really not, I don't think we're comfortable. And I said, all right, I understand that if you've not, if you're not comfortable, then I understand. And so we hung up the phone and skipped ahead, and we used to watch Two Sisters and a Whisk.
Yep.
And thought they were just delightful.
Yeah.
So I called again, and I said, would you check out their web page and give it some more thought? We'd love you to come. I got a call back, and she said, we're going to come.
Yep.
And so that turned around their perception. They were a little nervous of what you fellas would ask or how you would act. And you remember when they first came in the door to meet the 3 of you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that fun?
Yes.
Or what?
It was great.
Yeah, it was.
The best
They
part
were
is when they flung the
teasing
flan.
you, they were laughing,
When they flung the flan.
and that's right.
They flung that flan.
They
did
came
that.
back and remember did our Christmas show
Yeah.
on cooking,
Yeah.
cooking for a party.
That's right. And
Yeah.
they flung the flan.
And they tried to cut that green apple.
Yeah.
And they kept saying, I think it's a rock. It's
Rock.
not an apple.
It's an apple.
So that show and that story of getting guests is one of my favorites.
It is.
But so many of the people that we've met all over the community, parents of special needs students, parents of our siblings, sisters and brothers, people working in the field to help, to train, to encourage people with challenges, they've all had a message. And that's our mission statement. We want to present a show that is educating the public, that you gentlemen have what? Abilities.
Abilities.
Not disabilities.
Not disabilities.
Abilities.
And so I think we've accomplished that goal.
That leads me to a simple question. How difficult to raise a disabled adult versus a disabled husband?
That would be interesting. Each individual has their own personality, their own strengths or their own needs, David, whether it's a a child, or whether it is your husband, your aunt, your uncle, your cousin, we need to understand and be patient and kind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can you describe some of the growths that you've seen in us individuals?
Oh, gosh. Don't you think yourselves that how much you've matured
Yes, we have.
and grown and accomplished?
Yes, we have.
We started out, and there were two of you. There was just David and Ryan.
Me, that's right.
And remember, Aaron, you were the floor
Oh,
manager.
I remember that. He
Yeah.
was co-director, and he was to.
And
And
we came in our regular clothes, your jeans and tennis shoes, and
That's
we
right.
were just more casual. But then as we moved along, we used to have parent meetings. Remember, we'd meet as a team.
yes.
A team meeting.
Talk about
And we would generate names to be guests, and we talked. And that's how we began to think we needed a web page, we needed business cards,
Exactly.
we made
Coffee
our
mugs.
mission statement,
Coffee mugs.
and we got our shirts with our logo on it.
Right there.
Yep.
And Aaron asked at one time, which was a very sweet experience. Aaron said, you know, I'd like to be asking questions like my friends. And so what did we do, guys?
We said yes.
What did we say?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that is right.
That's the answer. We said
So
yes.
Aaron became
Oh,
part of the team, and now there are
Host
three.
Castle.
That's right. There are three hosts,
Yep.
and the parent group have been supportive in the fact that they create what we call it the slush fund,
Oh, the slush.
slush
fund.
fund.
The slush fund.
Oh, yeah.
and they submit monies,
That's monies.
and that's how the shirts or the
I'm not
embroidery,
gonna go on trees.
the web page,
trees.
or the thank you for the guests. Remember, we used to order mugs,
I remember those
Yeah.
mugs.
and
Oh,
all
I
that
miss these
money.
ones.
Not money.
All that money came from the families,
They did.
because
Yep.
everyone's family are supporting their child and the group.
Exactly.
So we have a big team that work together.
Could you
Ryan?
please tell us, please tell our viewers, what role you played in helping us put on this Community Corner show? Many people may think no one's ever heard of the Community Corner. So if you could just give us some general ideas of how you began this whole show and this great thing we're doing in the Community Corner.
You guys talk about how do I think you have grown and changed. I have grown and changed. When we started, we kind of put together we'd drive in the car together, and
That's
you'd
right.
ask some questions. If we're having Heather, who was our first guest, you knew her.
A personal trainer.
And so what should we ask her?
Fitness question.
Yeah, what would we ask, and what would we like to know about her?
That's right.
So you kind of put together some of the first questions,
We did.
and I don't even quite remember what steps I went through to make when we went from 2 to 3.
Yep.
How to set up the questions so you each had a turn,
That's right.
and you shared, and it was fair.
Fair but firm.
And the parents would give me suggestions. You guys in the car, I'd like to know about this. Let's ask this question. And so you have been back in the background, but yet very much part of how this has evolved. And at the team meetings, we'd say, gosh, let's get some shirts, so the colors every time that the audience would recognize. It's just been a labor of love, really.
Thank you.
Watching this experience evolve and the help from the public access station, and of course our fan, Joe.
Joe Johnson, who's
Oh
amazing.
yeah, I love that guy.
Yeah, Joe
Who's
Johnson.
amazing.
He's our groupie, our
He
cheerleader.
is amazing.
And so
Yes, my homeboy.
yes,
That's
his support has been unfailing, steady, and so important.
Super cheerful.
Yeah, and he's cheerful,
Right.
and the humor and the fun we have when we're here.
Our humor made him very chippy.
Chirpy.
Chippy?
Chirpy.
Oh, David?
That's good.
One of my
Yeah.
absolute
Okay, let's turn the subject from TV to this. It was hard to get the TTTs started. tell us the challenges you face on
Oh,
it.
yes, the TTT.
Wow. The growth of this, the three guys working together to share their experiences and ask questions of guests led me to believe that they had more to offer. And in school, in the setup of the educational plan in the States is called a transition program, where the students with challenges move from the high school setting into their older years up to the age of 26. And it's a process. And each of these boys, men, had their own process. And I thought they had a good story to share. And I contacted the parents, and we named it Transition Traveling Team, the TTT.
Oh, yeah.
We went to Oakland schools,
I did.
and we went to the community mental health, their transition departments, and we had guidance, and they all thought that we should put together what is called a PowerPoint.
I did.
So it took a lot of time for each family to get pictures and make a PowerPoint showing these men growing from when they were born, all the hobbies and interests and friends and family that made them who and what they are.
Exactly.
And we presented at some of the conferences. We went to different school districts to present because we were the traveling
transition team.
transition traveling team.
You have transition traveling team.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
We took our show on the road.
Exactly.
How about we do this? Transition teasing team.
Teasing team.
Teasing team.
You know,
But
if I remember,
when
all
we-
the time was when Karen Drew came down to interview you, and you said,
yeah,
"We
that's-
validated."
That thing you said.
That was an amazing. I heard that. I was like,
That
whoa.
word,
My face lit up and cried when I see that.
when I said that.
Yeah.
The validated, it proves that you boys all have abilities, that you have your own strengths, your own personalities, your own dreams. We didn't mention yet, maybe I should say one of the favorite shows would
Who?
be Karen Drew
Oh yes.
from Channel 4.
Yes. Karen.
Who learned about us and came to the station and did what?
Interviewed her.
Interviewed you and
Yes,
put
she
it on
interviewed us.
Channel 4.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I think she called you the Three Amigos,
Yes, she
didn't
did.
she?
Yes, she
Yes,
did.
she did.
Oh yeah. Well,
Right.
That was
Yeah.
one of my absolute greatest memories. Karen was an amazing person.
Yes. She's a dear friend to
All of
us
us.
and our show,
Dear friend.
and interested in the progress and the achievements. Yeah, so that would rank on top.
On top of
On
all
top.
things.
on the top.
On the top.
Can you tell our viewers what TTT is?
Transition,
Traveling
team.
Team.
Right, we've just
Teasing.
we've just shared a bit about it, and I think the important thing is that some of the professors at the college level
Dr. Solar.
learned about the transition traveling team, and he asks the team to come to Wayne State University
Dr. Robert Solar.
And-
Oh yeah, I remember meeting him at that conference.
at a conference, and he had one of our business cards,
They did.
and he invited us down once, and every time he has a class with special ed teachers,
We go down there.
who does he invite?
Us.
You fellows.
He
In
invites
fact, you
us.
just went this week.
Dr. Solar is truly
My
is an
favorite-
amazing man.
My favorite ONTV would be Dr. Stoller.
Dr. Stone?
He did come, and
He
he was
did.
our guest, right?
So, do you have any funny memories that you'd like to share with us? Any funny memories you have of our shows? Anything funny?
Oh my goodness. There's not many dull times. Everything seems to have some funniness.
Oh,
Come on.
No, that when we're doing something like this,
Yes.
and we know that we're presenting a serious message, we're hoping that the public audience is aware that people, whoever they see or meet in their lives, that people are to be respected,
Exactly.
and that people with challenges have wonderful things to share. And that's the goal we hope our show presents, that there is success, there is opportunity, and that you men continue to grow and to share your knowledge, your interests, and just become more independent, more involved.
You know, I heard quotes a while was the late Roger McCarlow, one of the
Yes.
great pioneers of.
Oh, yeah.
He was a man. He used to say, "It's a disability, it's abilities." And I really miss him.
Absolutely. And
He was a gentleman.
he had a serious injury that made him need to have a wheelchair help.
It was a bullying accident.
Yes, and that gave him a whole new perspective on people with challenges, whether they're birth defects or whether they're after accidents. And he had a TV show. And
was
he
called
came, right.
By the world.
Let me go up here. What do you feel is the most important takeaway from the TTTs or the audience?
That as people with challenges or disabilities go through the school districts, that they learn to speak as a parent to the schools of what they feel their youngster needs, suggest and be very involved, and to speak clearly to the education process so that their young person has an opportunity to experience and to be socially appropriate, socially acceptable with friends, as you three men have shown.
Exactly.
You met many, many years ago, and you've done lots of things through the recreation department together, through just wrestling parties at David's apartment,
That's right.
Yep.
or outings for Ryan's a birthday
Oh yes, they were.
celebrations.
Yeah, exactly.
So your friendship has been just in place for, and still is there.
It still is.
Do you think it helps break down barriers of for people with special needs?
That is our goal. Don't you think anytime we do our show, or anyone watches, or when you are independently out in the community, showing those around you, the public, that you are capable, that you can act and work well.
Ryan, please close.
Yes, thank you. I do. I hope our viewers now understand, just like we would have Mrs. Taylor supporting us. She is an amazing friend, devoted mother, and advocate for all, for those with disabilities. Most of all, we thank you, Mrs. Taylor, for all advocating for our dreams, expanding our horizons, and overcoming our barriers. You know, it's important that parents are a vital component of life. Without parents, where in the world would three men with disabilities be? So please, watch our shows, learn about us. It's very, if you learn about something, you may learn something about us that you never knew about us.
I'm DeWitt, and you're watching TV, ONTV, and YouTube.com. And my two friends are.
My name is Aaron Castle. You have been watching ONTV, CMN, and YouTube.
I'm ready to see you watching ONTV, CMN TV, and Public Access. See you later.
Ciao.
Ciao. Bye.